Or we turn to a sarcophagus from about the 6th century, from Ravenna, the sarcophagus that was reused as the sarcophagus of St. Theodore in the 7th century. And here we have the high row, again surrounded by a circle, but interspersed with the high row, the alpha and the omega, the first and last letters of the Greek alphabet, symbols of Christ as the beginning and the end, and therefore the totality. And flanked left and right not by angels, but by peacocks. Peacocks which are emerging as important Christian symbols because, well, the peacock back going to pagan Egypt is a symbol of immortality because of the notion that the peacock's flesh doesn't rot at death. So there's a sense in which it continues to live even after it dies. Because the peacock is associated in the Greek tradition with the story of Io, who was carried off by Zeus and then in turn to be punished because Hera, Zeus's wife, can't punish Zeus. She puts Io away, guarded by the 1,000-eyed guardian Argus, and Zeus finally sends Hermes, who puts Argus asleep eye by eye by eye by eye by eye by telling him loads of stories. And as soon as Argus is asleep, Hermes plucks out all of his eyes and tosses them down below, and a bird that is going by happens to be the peacock, getting all those eyes on its tail. So that the peacock with the eyes on its tail becomes the symbol of the all-seeing church. And the peacock, because of its association with Hera, who is the wife of Zeus and therefore the Queen of Heaven, comes to have an association with the Virgin Mary as the Queen of Heaven. Moreover, see, these things are never simple, straightforward. They're only and always complicated and interwoven. Moreover, the peacock has a very strange cry, and so it came to be associated later on with the cries of Christian martyrs in the early centuries when Christianity was a superstitio. So here we have a pair of peacocks doing all of these layers of symbolic discussion for us, flanking the high row and the alpha and the omega and the wreath, and I'm still not finished because, of course, the peacocks are interwoven in turn with vinage, with vines, and vines, of course, are at one and the same time a symbol of Christ as the good vintner who tends the vines, and a symbol of Christ's self-sacrifice, because the vines produce wine, and wine is by its color and texture associated with blood, and blood is associated with sacrifice. So we have with the vines and the peacocks, the high row, the alpha, omega, the wreath, multiple layered interwoven symbols of victory over death, of death and resurrection, appropriate to a sarcophagus. And we can also look at another sarcophagus from the 5th century in Ravenna and see that here we have a pair of peacocks much more simply.